Horny for the moon. Da 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 da. The moon, the moon.
Oh, this is going in the beginning of the episode. Welcome, dear listener, to For Scorpios by Scorpios. My name is Jordan, and I'm a Scorpio.
I'm Leann, and I'm a Scorpio.
This is an astrology podcast for little baby beginners who want to explore the zodiac. Today we're going to introduce you to our friend and close personal confidant, the moon sign. And Leann and I are going to be completely shook.
Well, I was going to ask you if you had any Scorpio moments this week.
I did, but I can't talk about it.
See, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. This is, over the week I wrote down in our notes that I had a Scorpio moment, and then I swiftly realized that we cannot talk about our Scorpio moments in a podcast because most of our Scorpio moments involve people in our lives.
Yeah.
So
let's just say my Scorpio moment of the week was someone was being completely ridiculous. Another Scorpio. And
don't talk about me like in front of me like this.
Shh. It's not. You're not even here, listener. Hey, listen. So someone was being completely ridiculous this week, and I had to step in and say, "Hey, check yourself. Do you want me to do it instead?" And they said yes, and then we hugged, and it was fine.
Right. Your Scorpio moment was that you were a goddamn hero.
I did save the day.
You saved the day.
Sometimes I think, and I don't know if this is true, I feel like maybe some Scorpios will be out there butting heads over who can be the bigger Scorpio. And then sometimes you just gotta go, it's okay.
It's okay.
It's gonna be fine.
It is.
Here's the thing. With this person in particular, I did know that, like, they had an attitude issue.
Right. And I don't think that's unique to Scorpios.
Yeah. So, Leann, have you had any Scorpio moments?
Yes, I sure did. And I will say the Scorpio moment that I had, the most important thing about it, we talked about this in one episode, was that while we aren't necessarily vengeful, we identify with the like holds grudges aspect of being a Scorpio.
Yeah. And
there was a moment in which I was living and it was like the entire film reel slowed down. And I was like, this is the moment where this is me, like, having a grudge. And I was like, not that I was like, I'm a Scorpio and so I'm holding a grudge now. No, but I was like, this person has wronged me in a way where I feel so, like, I was completely in the right. And just like, it was so unjust. It was so unjust. And so I'll just remember this until the day I die. Yeah. And so, like, if I ever come across this person socially, ecumenically, professionally, I just am going to be like, you know what? I will look at you and I will be polite, but deep down, I will never forget or forgive you for what you've done to me. And I think a lot of people will be like, I mean, they didn't really do anything like that serious, and it doesn't matter. Yeah. To me. I mean, essentially, because it was so absurd. It was so absurd.
From what you've told me, this person went out of their way. Yes. To be an asshole.
To be ridiculous.
Just to multiple people.
Yes. And just to like cause drama and be stupid, like specifically to us for no reason. And so I just, we did not hug it out because they don't know, they don't think they've done anything wrong, which is fine. They can keep living their life. Right. It doesn't matter. It's just that I will never forgive.
Yeah. And you shouldn't.
No, I don't feel bad about it, I have to say.
Yeah, I honestly never feel bad about it when I'm mad at somebody for like the rest of my life. It's interesting that you had like such a like moment of zen, like such an like out of body experience about it, where you're like, this is the spot. This is where it's formed.
And then it made me feel better. And I don't know, I think a lot of people are like, oh, well, don't like let them, like don't let it fester. No, it's not festering. This isn't something I think about daily or dwell on. Yeah. It's just that when that person's file comes up in my brain, there's a big stamp on it that's like, don't trust. Like, do not participate with this person. Like, okay, I'll shake your whatever. I'm not going to make a big scene. Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's fair.
And it helps me get over it for me. It's like, whatever. Like, everybody else can think we're fine. We're not fine.
Yeah, it's decided.
Exactly. Over. It's over. Which is fine, because this person never meant, they weren't like a good friend by any stretch of the imagination. Right. So it's not a big deal. Yeah. May I read you your horoscope
I would love that. Yeah.
today? Okay, I would like to do this. So I want to start with, what did we decide? Yes, we're going to start with astrology.com. Someone has a few ideas that they'd like to share with you today, but will you have time to listen? Try to slow down your normal routine long enough to hear from the people who don't normally have enough power or influence to bend your ear. You are one of the rare people who don't judge books by their covers, so don't start now. Keep that open mind, especially when someone says something that rubs you the wrong way. There is substance there that's worth investigating. The entire reason that I wanted to read you this was because it says, you don't normally judge books by their covers, so don't start now.
It's a very close personal passion of mine that is completely wrong. That is I would say that's like one of my favorite things that I've learned as a librarian.
Mm-hmm.
That people make book covers for a reason.
They make them on purpose, it turns out.
There are teams,
actually, yeah,
and artists and professionals who create book covers so that you will read them.
Entire marketing divisions.
Yeah.
Sit down.
Yeah.
And now, granted, I'm not saying they're always good, because you'll find, like a female author or whatever gets a book cover with a lot of bosom.
Yeah.
Or what have you.
Well, yeah. Okay. So here are my favorite examples.
Do it. Let's hear them.
Hunger Games.
Yeah.
It's got that gold symbol. It's a circle. It's got the
blue jay or the mockingbird.
Right. Yeah. Or the mockingjay.
Right.
Both of them at the same time.
All right. Okay, Susan Collins.
And all of those books have that sort of symbol on it, like that circle.
Yeah.
Okay. And then when Divergent came out, which is a read-alike, it had also sort of a circular symbol in the center of the book. And that is on purpose.
Yes,
they want
exactly.
people who read The Hunger Games to read Divergent.
That is an excellent example. It's like they want you to be able to tell. And as librarians, we will straight up go through the stacks and be like, oh, this book looks like this other book.
Yeah.
So when all those books came out like a year and a half, 2 years ago, that were like girl on the train, girl in the window, girl in the closet, girl in the car, woman in the cabin, like they were all, I mean, I'm not wrong. They all had a certain font. Like font is huge.
Yeah.
They all have a certain font. And then when we got into like, we graduated from we graduated to the next phase of the thriller woman unreliable narrator, which was like Mrs. Like Mrs. this, the other Mrs. that, the blah, 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 the affair. And so all of these had like text coming out of a floral background.
Oh, yeah.
You remember the floral backgrounds? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Multicultural books that have diverse characters. Mm-hmm. A lot of those always have like a similar cover. Book covers are incredibly important, and I always judge books by them.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's like the book, in parentheses, the person, if it's a person.
Right.
Telling you up front who they are, or at least like presenting to the world like how they want to be seen.
Right.
I mean, when people tell you who they are, believe them.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I think that's what it gets down to.
Also, let's not forget that it's not just like the book cover is also the back cover. And you can read a description of the book on the back cover.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not just what they look like.
Yeah.
It's telling you right out front.
Yeah.
Let's move on. What about, okay, let's do the last one for today. Scorpio horoscope from horoscope.com. Daydreams and fantasies about faraway lands and exotic places might have you thinking about dropping everything and taking off for a while. You aren't usually impulsive, Scorpio, but today you feel restless. If you have no obligations and if the weather permits, go someplace where you can experience a change of scenery. We all need it from time to time.
I like that. I like the vibe of that.
Yeah.
I'm always, I'm not daydreaming, but like...
yeah, for sure.
Essentially thinking about D&D, so...
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's fair. I went to the Renaissance Festival yesterday for the first time.
Ooh.
So I feel like if this was my horoscope for yesterday, that would have been cool. But definitely going to the Ohio Renaissance Festival is like, holy smokes.
Yeah.
And it's so cool.
World.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
And it's just this whole other world where everyone's running around LARPing, even if they don't know that's what they're doing. And so that was cool. Yeah. Oh, and I'm going to Disney World.
Yes.
Next week. And we're going to go to Galaxy's Edge. So that's really exciting.
Yeah. I went there on my honeymoon and it was the highlight of the whole thing.
Okay. What are we going to learn about today?
Today's topic is moon signs.
Moon.
Ooh.
I feel like the moon is very, like, in this space.
Right now?
Yes. Just like,
Moon, if you're here in this space with us, make your presence known. Oh my god! The moon just knocked really loudly. So, while your sun sign tells you about the broad strokes of your personality, oh my god, is this about, like, books and covers? This might tie in more than we thought.
I had to turn away to gasp. Oh, yeah.
So,
because our cover is Scorpio. We are a Scorpio on the outside.
What are we on the inside? So we're going to find out today. So your sun sign says, like, how you present yourself to others and how others see you. But then your moon sign allegedly says, like, who you really are on the inside. It says how your emotional self is, like, how do you see yourself? And so, like, we mentioned in one of the episodes, maybe the first one, we said something about, like, I hope the moon sign isn't just, like, what people go to when you don't fit your sun sign.
Right.
And they're like, oh, this is the reason why.
Yeah.
But that is sort of the explanation.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes your moon sign can say something totally different, and that's why, you know.
That's what the people who... fit. Right. That's who... the people who are really believing this would maybe say, oh, you don't fit every characteristic of your sign, your sun sign, because your moon sign is actually the opposite, or like a yin and a yang.
Yeah. So they say that the moon sign is then your second most important sign in your horoscope.
Yeah. Yeah. So the way that you find out your moon sign has to do with where the moon was when you were born.
So the moon changes every 2 days as far as like its location in the sky. And so that's why it's so important to use like your birth time, not just your birth date, and even your birthplace because of like time zones and stuff. Everyone's moon sign like changes very frequently. So even if you're born 2 days apart, you'll have the same sun sign, but different moon signs.
Right. Which is really interesting because the moon does move so much. It turns out
we have the same moon sign.
We have the same moon sign.
We're both Cancer moons.
Cancer moons. 69, baby.
Yes, we got it. We got it in there.
Got it in.
I was so happy that we had 69 somewhere in our signs.
In our signs, yeah. Well, so we were texting each other because we knew we wanted to do the moon signs like next because you were correct in thinking that that's like the second most important sign. And so we had both
Wait, I'm sorry, say that again.
You were correct.
Yes, thank you.
Ding, 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 ding. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Jordan was correct. The moon sign is the second most important sign.
That is 2 weeks in a row for those of you keeping count at home.
Yeah. Oh my God. And I'm wrong about so much, which I'll address later.
It's fine.
It's normal. One of us has to be smart and one of us has to be
just so dumb.
So dumb.
Just so painfully dumb.
So we texted each other freaking out because at some point you were like, wouldn't it be so funny if all of our, like if our charts were like identical?
Yeah.
And so far we're on a great track.
Yeah.
So may I please read to you from CoStar what your moon in Cancer. Ready? All right. Moon in Cancer. The moon rules your emotions, moods, and feelings. This is likely the sign you most think of yourself as, since it reflects your personality when you are alone or deeply comfortable. Your moon is in Cancer, meaning your emotional self is sensitive, thoughtful, and empathetic. You have a tendency to feel like a martyr and secretly fear being abandoned by those you love. You often have trouble letting things go and feel like an emotional wreck.
Oh.
You're already like laughing.
My God.
It's in your 7th house, meaning you find security and safety through close relationships and long-term partnerships.
Yeah. Me.
Yeah.
So when I was saying I want to be a Pisces, or like that, I felt like I was
misunderstood,
a little more like emotional, like a Pisces. It was secretly my Cancer moon. That was the issue. So when I read this, I was like, okay.
I'm pretty sure your exact text was like, drag me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to pull it up.
Very likely.
You texted me, what's your moon sign? I screenshotted you. Cancer? Wow, me too. And I said, shut the fuck up. And then you said, Fucking drag me to hell and back. Zero chill.
Drag me the fuck to hell and kill me.
Drag my limp ass body back. Oh my god.
Seriously though, like,
well, it's like you're such a martyr or something.
That was the part where I was like, oh god, this thing has my number. I was like,
literally, because we signed up for a free fucking app. So,
well,
anyway, yeah.
So, like, it's
what part of this resonates with you the most? Is it the martyr part? Because for me, that's not it. Because I'm never a martyr.
The martyr part is what like really stung me. Also, there was like the sensitive, thoughtful, and empathetic part.
For me, it was you often have trouble letting things go, which we've already discussed in this podcast.
Yeah.
And feel like an emotional wreck.
Do you?
So this is the part that I think is the feeling like an emotional wreck. Like, no.
You don't.
But also, it's like I know I don't have a reason to feel like an emotional wreck.
Right.
But there are definitely times where I'm just like,
yeah.
And I just want to do the Tina Belcher moan.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and just like lay face down on the floor.
Yeah.
But again, there's no reason for that. But that's why I felt like, okay.
I mean, there are a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
If you're looking for reasons, I'm sure we can come up with
right. No,
reasons.
let's not do that.
But yeah, I think that the martyr part really hit me hard. The secretly fear of being abandoned by those you love.
Yeah. What is that about?
Well, for one, who doesn't? But two, holy shit, do I think.
So, okay. So you like already identified that in yourself.
I mean, when I hear it from this, I'm like, oh God.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because for some reason, like this was like the third thing in 1 week. Oh, because in yoga, the yoga instructor, she's very like crunchy granola, and she reads from this book of this like woman who went to Sedona and like had a whole drug trip or whatever. And so she reads this thing, and it was about obviously if your like romantic partner or your mom like left you, and it's like it's not your fault, they don't mean to do that, blah blah blah, and it's like everyone has a fear of being abandoned, and I was like, I don't. Like I have a very stable, but then as I started thinking about it, I was like, no, wait, I do have this fear of like, not fear, but I think it's just like when you grow up, when you move away from college, like all of my friends leaving.
Like losing touch with your friends.
Losing touch with my friends, like people obviously moving on or, you know, moving to different places. And it's like, why can't everyone just like live in the same town?
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
So that's where I feel it's not, because for me, I'm very lucky that I have like a strong nuclear family. And so I don't have a fear of being abandoned by my family or by Kyle.
I do.
Oh, see, I'm sorry. And that's why it sounds so stupid to be like, my friends are moving away. But you left work.
Yeah.
That started it. And then it's just like all these other people are leaving, picking up. I mean, you're still here, thank God.
Yeah. And honestly, the thing about being abandoned by my family is just that my mom moved to South Dakota, but, you know, ostensibly to like take care of my grandparents. But there are she has two other sisters there.
Why is that always there?
There, who can take care of the grandparents.
Were you born in the Dakotas?
Yeah, I was born in South Dakota.
The front door. What?
Yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
Cool.
We lived there for like 2 years when I was, until I was like 2.
Oh, okay. So you don't remember it?
Not really. I do remember some things, which, like, when I look back through, like, my twisted toddler vision, I'm like, oh, that was just my grandparents' house.
Yeah.
But, like, on a huge scale, because I was small.
But you do, like, that resonated with you, the being abandoned thing?
Yeah, totally. I mean, like, I moved here to Columbus 4 years ago. From Brunswick, Ohio. And from Northeast Ohio. And, it just sucks that, like, a lot of my friends are still in Northeast Ohio, like, hanging out without me.
Yeah, it sucks. It's, and, like, I moved to Columbus, so I moved away from my friends before they moved away from, and it's not like it's their fault. It's no one's fault. You gotta do what you gotta do. But it makes you really sad.
When did you move to Columbus?
4 years ago. 2016.
Huh. Why?
To move in with Kyle.
He already lived here?
Yeah. So he went to flight school in Alabama.
Oh.
Came back from flight school. His job was here in Columbus. And so he engaged me, and then I moved to Columbus.
He was very engaging.
He was.
So here's the thing about relationships and how this ties in. Since your moon sign is like your emotional self, they say that it's actually really important to check like your partner's moon signs to see if you're compatible, because it's not always like the thing that you're presenting on the outside. It for like longevity, it's going to be the things that are on the inside.
What sign is Kelsey? What moon sign is Kelsey? Well, first remind us what sun sign is Kelsey.
Kelsey, my wife, is a Virgo.
Yes.
Sun. And are you ready for this?
I'm not.
She's a Cancer moon.
Shut.
We're all Cancers here.
Wow. 69.
Yeah. It's like.
Bow. Bow.
So yeah, your sun sign is it determines your needs and relationships and how you get along with others. So I don't know. I don't know if Cancer moons are supposed to be like particularly compatible. I haven't looked that up. I probably should have done that. We could do it right now.
I literally don't know how. Let me look in my book.
Research. We're doing research.
Okay, wait. But before we talk about if they're compatible or not,
I'm just going to guess yes.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay.
I want to say that it probably, we actually haven't talked about compatibility a lot. Like, I don't even know if we're allowed to be friends. I don't know if Scorpios can actually be. I think we can.
I think it's a good.
I'm
going to say yes.
I think it is.
I've been friends with other Scorpios.
Yeah. And I think we just like ourselves in a good way. Like, it's good to like yourself, people.
Yeah.
And so I think we are attracted to, the same charismatic, cool, sexy, horny individuals. So like, whatever. Yeah. I think Scorpios are bound to be friends.
Are you cool? Are you charismatic? Are you sexy? Are you horny? Get at me.
But do you think that Kelsey's moon sign fits her? Because
so no, I kind of don't think it does. Which is so strange.
Yes. Okay. Because I looked up Kyle's and I started reading. Okay. So Kyle, my husband, is a Taurus moon.
Okay. Oh, right. So
I was like,
if you remember from last episode, and this is true, I think, across the board, the thing that your sun sign is supposed to mean, like, the personality of your sun sign, is the same in your moon sign. It's just internal. So Tauruses are internally boring. I don't know.
I don't remember. I remember one of the signs we were like, this is boring as shit. Was it Taurus?
Well,
no,
so
that was
like the homebody one, the Hobbit. I think it was like Capricorn.
Yeah. Oh, no, you're right. Because this and Taurus is like, it likes material objects and is like, needs security and all this stuff. Well, here, I'll read Taurus since, I'm just going to read this short one. Your moon is in Taurus, meaning your emotional self is very romantic and sentimental. False for Kyle. You are deeply loyal to the people you care about and try hard to maintain security and stability within those relationships. The longer version of this had a lot to do with like material wealth and saying that like the person gets a lot of security through like hoarding material things and making a big bank account and being secure in that way. And I just like none of that resonates with Kyle. And like he is not sentimental by any stretch of the imagination. Like he's a nice he's a nice person because he has emotions, but like it just doesn't describe him at all. And so I think it's interesting that we were both like, oh, for sure, we are martyrs and like 69 Cancer, fuck yeah. But like for it just made
what?
But maybe it's because it even said in the reading of the Cancer one is like, this is how you most identify yourself.
Yeah.
So I wonder if we would ask other people, hey, do you think that this is us?
Yeah.
They'd be like,
say no.
No.
But like we feel
it so much. Yeah.
That's entirely possible.
Yeah. Huh. Aw, man. Zodiac got us again.
This is really fucked up.
Man, come on. We're like, we friggin' solved it. So really quick, if we have a moment, since we're talking about the moon and I'm all about like history and like
Oh, yeah.
Who is the moon? So
Who is she?
So first of all, I just want to make it real clear for all of the horoscope and zodiac beginners out there, the moon is not a planet.
Famously.
Not a planet. In one of the episodes, we repeatedly heard from the book of the zodiac that the moon is a planet. Not true. Along with Pluto, the moon is not a planet. However, the moon has never been a planet. It is a moon. Moon is different.
Yeah.
Moon is a different celestial object. But what is cool about the moon is that in so much mythology and like current witchdom, the moon plays like this huge role. And the moon is actually a goddess herself. And it goes all the way back to Proto-Indo-European gods, which is very cool because that means it's like the entire continent of India and Europe, or like, Asia and Europe together. But her name was Nana, and she was later known as Sin, and was particularly associated with magic and sorcery. So this goes all the way up to our Western, like, witches dancing naked under the moon, menstrual cycles being controlled by the moon, which we will get to later because that is not scientifically possible. In Greco-Roman mythology, the sun and moon are represented as male and female, respectively Helios and Selene, or Sol and Luna. So I think we all are familiar with Luna as the moon. Let's see. The star and crescent arrangement goes back to the Bronze Age, representing either the sun and moon or the moon and the planet Venus in combination. And those came to represent the goddess Artemis, or Hecate.
I've heard of that. I've read Shakespeare.
Yes.
Wait. Is it Hecate or Hecate?
Hecate? Oh, you're right. There's not a T. Ooh, that's my bad. Hecate.
See, I have read Shakespeare.
Hecate. Hecate?
Mm-hmm.
All right. But we talked about Artemis, I think, in one of the other ones, because it's related to one of the zodiac signs. But so Hecate, Selene, and Luna are all sort of like the same really cool goddess who's in charge of the moon, or is the moon, and controls sorcery and witchcraft. And she famously has the crescent moon kind of horizontal on her head, and they almost look like horns.
I've seen that before.
Mm-hmm. And it's associated with a lot of witchcraft, but it started as a religion, which, is cool. And the last thing I wanted to talk about with the moon was lunacy. So Luna, the name of the moon goddess. We just had a full moon, obviously, every few weeks. But even still, we've got that coworker at my library who likes to run around saying, "Oh, everybody's being crazy today because of the full moon."
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty problematic sentencing.
True.
Yeah. We're trying to back off using the word crazy.
Yeah. Let's just go with like wild.
Wild.
That's my favorite.
Yep. I think wild is a great way.
Wild out here.
It is wild out here. You're being so wild.
It is.
That person's acting wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just say it instead of crazy. Yeah. We don't need to be calm. What? Well, and why? Because it's like, that's a mental illness. Like, people have mental illness. Crazy has some bad connotations. So does lunacy. So lunacy, philosophers Aristotle and Pliny the Elder argued that the full moon induced insanity in susceptible individuals, believing that the brain, which is mostly water, must be affected by the moon and its power over the tides.
That is what I was saying in that one episode.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But I don't believe in this.
Well, but so here's the thing, is like, to give it to Aristotle and Pliny the Elder, see, it's like, okay, you guys were alive thousands of years ago.
Yeah.
They did not have the science that we have today. They did not have, like, therapy, right? They did not have the understanding of our brains that we do. So it's like, yeah, I get it, why they would be trying to put those dots together. Like, the moon can control the tides, which, like, the fact that they even could figure that out is impressive.
That is crazy.
And so they're like, well, yeah, our tiny little bodies.
That is wild.
Logically.
I'm so sorry.
I know. It's... of all the things. So it must be affected by the moon and its power over the tides. However, the moon's gravity is too slight to affect any single person.
Okay.
Even today, people who believe in a lunar effect claim that admissions to psychiatric hospitals, traffic accidents, homicides, or suicides increase during a full moon, but dozens of studies invalidate these claims.
We here on For Scorpios by Scorpios do believe in science.
We do.
So whatever your moon lunatic stuff says, if the studies don't show that to be true, we're going to go with the studies.
The studies. We're going to go with the science, which can also be biased, but not in this case. Which this is why I want to go back and address the period thing. Because we were talking about, do you think, because the moon, there was that book, The Red Tent by Anita Diamond. And we talked about like cultures used to believe that probably for the same reasons that women's bodies are, you know, the reason that women were having periods every month or menstruating every month was because of the moon. There's a lot of things that sync up there. The cycle of the moon, for instance, is almost 30 days.
Yeah.
And that's lunar calendars and etc. But it seems to me that that's impossible because if they're saying that, you know, the moon can't, its gravitational pull is not enough to affect one person. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's more of like a living together thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. That's all I have on the moon.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, okay, so I also looked up a bunch of, like descriptions of Cancer moons since we're both Cancer moons. So I wanted to go over those.
Great.
So I looked up, you know, several different articles. This one's from What's Your Emotional Mode of Operation in Harper's Bazaar from 2015. Let me read. An emotional Cancer, which, by the way, horrible phrase. Stop it.
Yeah, it is. We should have learned where the word came from. Why? What is Cancer? Why is it?
Okay, yeah. Let's do that right now.
Because I do wonder, like, obviously it doesn't... Like, we must have called Cancer for some other reason.
Yeah, so a Cancer just means crab. It comes from the Latin cancer, Greek karkinos, and English canker. Yeah, it just means crab or creeping ulcer.
Oh,
okay. Here we go. Said to have been applied to such tumors because swollen veins around them resembled the limbs of a crab.
Wow.
So there's actually like a little history there.
Etymology.
I love it. I love a good etymology.
Sounds like a appetizer at a sushi restaurant.
Yeah. Like
edamame. Yeah. Woo.
Okay, so there's this article, What's Your Emotional Mode of Operation? It's from Harper's Bazaar online from 2015. And here's what it has to say about emotional Cancer. Cancer is ruled by the moon, which makes you a highly sensitive and emotional being. See, I thought those were Pisces. As the moon changes signs quickly, this constant change can also make you somewhat moody. You operate by that it is scientifically not true. You operate by your feelings, and even if something logically looks sound, you will rarely go against how you feel, and can make decisions based purely on instincts. You are easily... Do you feel like you do that? I feel like I do.
That you operate by your feelings, even if something...
Yes, like logically should make sense. If you feel like wary about it, do you...
Yeah, I do feel like my instincts are pretty good.
Yeah. You are easily hurt, but have an outer protection, the crab's shell, and will instinctually pull back and shut down to protect yourself. I disagree.
Yeah, I feel like... I don't feel that I'm easily hurt.
I don't either.
Maybe by like my good friends, obviously, but
yeah,
they aren't shitty.
Right.
So.
And I don't have like a shell around myself to protect myself emotionally. Like, I think I'm pretty emotionally open. Like, you know?
Yeah, I think I used to have one. But I don't think I do anymore. I think I try to put it out there.
Yeah. You are a savvy operator, a strong person, and have an emotional strength that could be referred to as fragile steel.
Yeah.
As a Cancer, you give people a certain amount of chances/warnings, and if they tamper with your heart, you have been known to cut your losses and walk away without a single glance back.
Yes.
Big Scorpio energy on that one. Once the door is closed, it is locked. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But treat you well, your depth of emotions are revealed as loyal, protective, and nurturing.
Listen.
I agree with that.
This bit right here about you have a certain amount of chances warnings, and if they will tamper with your heart, you have been known to cut your losses and walk away without a single glance back. We were just talking about this earlier today.
Yes.
But this actually, there was another Scorpio moment I had this week, and it was last night. Yes, dramatic gasp, because we were together.
We were together. Tell me. Yeah. Tell me everything.
So basically, I was like, I have made so many excuses for your behavior. In my brain. I didn't say this out loud, but I was like, I've made so many excuses for your behavior and the way that like you've acted and etc. And I thought like, okay, we'll give it like one more go. And then just pot stirring drama. And I literally was just like, okay, bye. And like walked to the bar and just was like, waited until they left. Cause I was like, I don't want this right now. And yeah, that happened. And I literally was like, I don't need to stand here and like make you feel better. Mm-hmm. This is not making me feel good.
Yeah.
So I just was like, okay, like
good for you.
Cool. I'm going to go put my beer down.
I have to go put my beer down across the room.
Pretty much.
Be back never.
Right. Because I was just like, and again, it's not like the door is closed forever, but it certainly, I was like, I don't need to keep putting my energy toward you.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really cool that you did that. I mean, like everyone has to take care of themselves and be like, this person doesn't make me feel good, so I'm going to stop being near them. It's such a valuable thing to learn in your adulthood, like as early as you can learn it. Like,
yeah.
And if people don't make you feel good, you do not have to talk to them, see them, be nice. Like, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to interact with them at all. Like, whether they're coworkers, friends, family members, like, you can peace out at any point.
Right. And that's not to say, I mean, like, I think if my good friends, people that I trust and that I have really strong relationships with, if they want to tell me something difficult, like, I want to be there to hear it.
Yeah.
It's like when someone who is coming kind of out of like your peripherals and is like just always making you feel like, oh my gosh, like here we go again.
Yeah.
It's those types of things. It's not like I want to avoid conflict or like completely avoid anyone making me feel uncomfortable or like not feeling good. It's just like if 90% of our interactions make me feel worse, we don't need it.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean I think they need to have a bad day. It's just we don't get along, or we just aren't good for each other.
And you just don't have to interact. You don't have to interact like that. That there are several people that are like that. These people that I know are just like really negative, and every time we get to talking, they're complaining about something, and I'm just like, look, I hear you, but I don't necessarily agree. For one, and two, I don't care.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna walk away. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna not talk to you anymore because if every time we talk, it's gonna be something negative, like I just don't need that.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so there was another article I wanted to talk about. This one is also in Harper's Bazaar online. It's called Why Your Moon Sign is More Important Than You Think. It's from this year. It's from June 18th, 2019. Let me read about the Cancer moon.
Please do.
You're ruled by the moon, meaning you are queen or king of all those feels. In a relationship, you like a partner that can express their true feelings, as emotional security is number one. You need to know that they are all in so that you can relax. It can be hard for you to let go if you don't trust. However, once you feel safe, you can be the most supportive and nurturing partner. Together, you will enjoy creating a home together and caring for each other in the new space. And then it has a side note, turn-ons, which I love a good turn-on. Envision a cozy future together, talk deep feelings in the bedroom while gazing in each other's eyes.
Wow.
So, I mean, yeah.
I don't know if you could hear it through the microphone, but I was nodding my head vigorously while you were reading that.
I don't think they can hear it, but I'll like add in like a nodding head sound.
Oh, no.
Like a cartoon, like.
Wrong sound effect. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I feel this a lot. But honestly, though, like, who doesn't?
Well, so, like, some people
I don't know why I'm feeling so skeptical today.
Well, the thing is, like, some people are not really comfortable with, like, one, sharing their feelings, or two, receiving other people's feelings. And it's saying that we are, and I feel that. Like, I
agree.
I really, I like that, like Kelsey and I can talk about our feelings and like be honest with each other about stuff.
Yes.
And
Me too.
Yeah, it's great.
And sometimes it is frustrating when I feel that is not being reciprocated.
Yeah. And like, yeah, it's just, it comes down to wanting to feel safe. You know, like, yeah, that's what it says. It's like, once you feel safe, you can be the most supportive and nurturing partner. Like,
yes.
Yeah, once you know that we're on the same
and I feel that way in friendships too.
Yeah.
I really do. And it's interesting because that does sound a lot like Scorpios. Because you said something in a previous episode about how you didn't want to, basically like you didn't want to force people to pay attention to you.
Yeah.
And I feel that so much. And I think especially here, it's like you don't want to force them to share or like to connect, but that's what you need.
Yeah.
That's what I need. That's what I feel.
Yeah.
But I guess I just meant like, who doesn't like need emotional security? But I guess to your point, like, yeah, not everybody is, or it's not as important.
Comfortable with that.
Yeah. Well, they should be.
They should be. Yeah. Everyone should talk about your emotions, your needs, your...
yeah, this is, I'm like swinging between like, oh, I'm so cynical and like, oh, that's like me 2 days. You know, it's just like, oh, wow, I just feel that a lot because I was just like cycling, you know, and I'm like, am I being too emotional? Am I overthinking it? And then you just start in your brain just going and it's like whirring through all the things.
Well, like you said, like this is maybe why astrology can be useful, is like it can help you reflect on stuff that you were feeling or thinking, or that like try to figure out like what's important in your life.
Yeah.
You know. Even if it's not
and like you still
true.
Right, and you still take responsibility for your actions. I think that is the most important thing, is that, you know, even if it says you're a martyr or whatever, you know, that you're like recognizing that and not ruining lives or friendships or work because you're like, well,
so I mean, knowing that about yourself can be like the first step to fixing it. If it's something that you want to fix, if it's like, God, I don't like what this thing says about me. I do feel it sometimes. I don't like that though. So you know, you could be like, okay, so I've identified the problem. Right. Like, let's do something different.
Yeah. This next one is from Cosmo.
Yeah, Cosmo. And
is it like your moon sign dictates what sex position is the best for you? Wait, is that are you fucking joking me?
No, it doesn't say that.
Oh,
but I was thinking the 69 the 69 symbol that we have.
Oh. What does he like? Does he like crabs? Sorry.
Oh boy.
I'm just Cosmo. Yeah. Articles are notorious for that.
Yeah. So yeah, this one is from Cosmopolitan. It's everything you need to know about your moon sign. This is also recent, 2019. It says, Cancer moons, the emotional heavyweight of the zodiac. Cancer is ruled by the moon, so to have Cancer as your actual moon sign makes you incredibly empathetic, sympathetic, compassionate, and even psychic.
Yeah.
When it comes to tuning into your and others' emotions.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I just want to point out, because this podcast is for Scorpios by Scorpios.
Yes.
Not only are we the most in the sun sign.
Oh my God, yeah.
We're the most in the moon sign.
The most what?
We're just the most.
The most.
Because like truly, when we went through all the zodiacs, it was like Scorpio's the most, whatever it was, they were sexual or whatever.
Uh-huh.
But none of the other ones were like.
They didn't even mention sex at all in the others.
Exactly. They didn't even bring it up. They were like fucking eunuchs. Like it didn't even matter. And then Scorpio was like the second word. It was like sexual.
Yeah.
The only and so here it's like the heavyweight. And this is not the first time we've heard that we're psychic.
Yeah, it's not. Or empathetic or like all those things. So, yeah. It goes on. You are very sensitive personally. You have a habit of hoarding stuff, not just possessions either. You have a significant active cupboard of exes. Some of those bodies are still warm, aren't they? The fuck?
Okay, I have a question. Does this mean that, okay. Why is it a cupboard of X's? Is this like British Vogue or like British Cosmo? There's not a British Cosmo, but why do you have a cupboard? Like an entire kitchen cupboard full of like your ex's sweaters? So that's weird. Second thing.
No, this is literally their bodies.
Like your bodies, right? So you've murdered the exes, multiple exes, and then put them in a cupboard? I just have a lot of questions. So you've... Also, this is Cancer, not Scorpio.
It's not Scorpio, so they're not even the serial killers.
Yeah, so this is really weird. Or does it mean some of those bodies are still warm, meaning like wink, wink?
You still fucking them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that is what it means, and basically, like...
But in the cupboard.
It's...
It's a tight fit.
So you have a lot...
69.
You have a lot of sex toys in the cupboard.
Right.
Is what it's saying.
Warm.
And they're hot. Spicy. I think, it's just saying that, like...
I also don't hoard stuff.
I don't either. I mean, well, no, I don't either. I don't feel like... So, really missing
like, for the record, we're librarians, and, like, I don't even hoard books.
Yeah.
And trust me, people hoard books.
That is number 2 on my librarian passion list.
After book covers?
After book covers? Actually, I mean, it's the other way around. But that is number B. There's no value judgment. Yeah.
I think we need to address it in the profession. Let's start a new podcast.
Yeah.
Addressing the profession. Librarianship. Colon.
How to fix it.
How to fix hoarders.
Yeah.
Yep. Moving on.
Yeah, continuing on, it says... In relationships, you are a carer. You like to mother people and...
No.
No? And
go ahead.
And will serve them your undying love and loyalty as long as they return that in equal measure. And woe betide those that don't.
Okay, love that phraseology.
Woe betide all ye who do not return my love.
Oh, Shakespeare.
I mean, that's not Shakespeare.
What was it?
It's Jordan Valentine original.
I know it.
2019.
Oh, who are some famous Cancer Moonies?
Yes, and it gives us some famous Cancer Moonies. Emilia Clarke is also a Cancer Moon. Taylor Swift is a Cancer Moon. Shakira is a Cancer Moon.
Perfect trio. How weird would it be to go to dinner with Emilia Clarke, Taylor Swift, and Shakira?
I mean, it just sounds like it'd be so emotional, and as long as everyone's like equally handing out their emotions, it would be fun. I don't know. I feel like you could really get into like some deep conversation.
Yeah.
Once you break down that hard outer shell. Honestly, which I could see with these 3 queens.
For sure with Taylor Swift.
With these 3 absolute queens.
I agree.
Yeah. And I have a note here that we need to go into this article a little deeper.
Scorpio. Okay, so we have to wonder, as Scorpios, you can be a Scorpio sun. Can you? Wait.
Yeah.
Can you be a Scorpio?
Yeah, you could be a Scorpio sun and a Scorpio moon.
If any of the tens of listeners out there are a Scorpio double,
get at us immediately.
We want you on this podcast.
Email us. It's for Scorpios by Scorpios
at gmail.com.
Yes. Immediately.
I'm already, I'm tingling. My palms are sweating mom's spaghetti.
Get your horny ass on this podcast.
Yes.
So if you are by chance so lucky to be a Scorpio moon, we are not so lucky. Here is what Cosmo has to say about you. And it does fall in line with some of the other Scorpio things. You are a strong, shrewd, and intuitive character underneath whatever social poise or grace you project. They'd better take you seriously. You have a penetrating insight into what makes people tick.
Penetrating.
Yeah. It comes naturally to you, so you don't think it's anything special. I like that they wrote special. But my friend, it is. Your intensity and inner self-belief can make you come off as a bit, dare I say, scary to others. You actually like it that way. And here's the kicker. Power makes you horny. Hell the fuck yeah. Love it. Should that be the title? No, it shouldn't be the title.
We already have a horny title, so.
Everything should be something that's horny. It also continues.
Playing up the stereotype.
It also continues. In relationships, you like to take control and you can get scary jealous. This is for Scorpio Moments.
I know.
Not for you.
I know.
Are you scary jealous?
I can be.
Ooh.
In terms of like, in relationships. I know that the new like 21st century, 2020 thing is like, we're all going to be in open relationships. And I could not.
Yeah.
I could not.
So, for anyone out there who somebody's like saying, we need to be in an open relationship, like, you don't have to be cool with that.
It just feels like...
It may be right for some people, but it's not right for everybody. And I would say it's probably not right for most people.
Yeah.
Everyone is
But
jealous.
there's so much out there that's like, monogamy isn't natural.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? And it just makes you feel like, oh my God, the patriarchy has fucked us so hard that like, we're just like, yeah, in this like...
Anything that's
marriage.
Anything that's like slightly against the patriarchy, you're like, we have to do it right now.
It feels like it a little bit. And it's like, if you're not, you know, and thank goodness, I've brought this up to Kyle and I'm like, babe, I just like I don't think I could like be in an open relationship. He's like, what the no. What do you mean? What?
Who have you been talking to?
Right. And it's just, anyway. And I get it though. Like, I guess it's cool. I'm trying to be real open about it for other people. Yeah. Because I truly don't care. Like, as long as you're consenting adults and you're sharing with your partner and you're all on the same page and whatever. But it's like, man, for me, I just think I would burn from the inside. Mm-hmm. I would be lit afire.
Yeah.
You agree. It looks like you agree.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. I would be Emilia Clarke, Queen of Dragons or whatever.
Queen of Cancer Moons.
That's right.
Yeah, you'd burn it all down with yourself inside.
Oh my God, I would.
And you'd walk out of the ashes and be like, yeah, bitch, I just did that.
That's right. That's right. Oh, it would be so terrible. Oh, I don't know. So, go on.
This continues. This finishes up. This wraps up.
Finishes.
This finishes all over the place. So saying sex is incredibly important to you. It's how you best express your love and commitment in a relationship. So if that side of things isn't cooking, then you're going to start looking elsewhere.
All right, Cosmo. Here's the thing. You can't have the first line of this 2-sentence paragraph start out, in relationships, you like to take control and you can get scary jealous, and end with, if you're having trouble having sex with your partner, you're going to immediately start cheating. Like, what? Excuse me?
Oh, God.
Maybe buy a vibrator. I don't know. Like,
damn.
You know what I mean? That's intense. Also, they called out Beyonce, Lady Gaga, and Mariah Carey
as Scorpio moons.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they are. I could see a little bit of Scorpio in each of them.
Well, sure.
Maybe not like
book covers. Am I right?
Yeah. Well, that's the opposite.
I know.
These are their moons.
Is it worth finding? Well, so Beyonce's birthday was what, yesterday? 2 days ago.
I think she's a Libra. Let's do some research.
Sound effect for research.
Yeah. Yeah. Beyonce is a Libra.
According to my book.
So she's very charming and elegant and balanced. And then she's real horny on the inside.
That's right. Yeah, no, that sounds absolutely accurate. Whoa.
It could be.
Also, we don't know Beyonce, for the record.
That's true. I think anyone who's sort of like a diva, I feel like could be a Scorpio.
Oh, for sure.
Which big ups to us for being the biggest divas in this room.
That's right.
That sort of wraps up.
I was just going to say, I don't know if we can include this, but Jordan and I went to a show last night, a musical show. And
that sounds like it's a musical. We went to a rock concert.
A rock concert. So Jordan and I went to a rock concert last night, and with some friends. It wasn't just us talking about Scorpios in the middle of a rock concert. But I texted Jordan partway through the band, and I was like, this lead singer is for sure a Scorpio, because he was such a diva. That's why I initially texted. Yeah. Why did you think I said that? Because of his pants?
Yes, honestly.
So fucking tight.
They were very tight.
They're too tight.
I saw his dong.
His whole dong.
So I have been in bands, and I have a lot of opinions about bands.
I would love to hear all of them.
Well, okay, so I just really hate the, like, I'm going to go wait backstage while the band starts, and then I'm the singer, so I'm going to walk out and say, and start singing. Like, I'm the one who's important. Or,
Oh, that's interesting. I thought he was doing the opposite. I thought he was like
focus on the band while
right.
and then I'll come in.
But also, I see what you're saying, because it's like, I'm still focusing on the band while you're up there, though, because I have to, because the only thing I can look at is your penis through your pants. And I don't know if, like, the thing is, like, he's a good looking guy.
Yeah.
Except that he just puts me in mind of when I was like 14 and my parents took me to the ballet. Like the Cinderella ballet or whatever. Sure. And there were these like, grown, fit men on stage in tights, and you're like, what? Hey. And so last night it was just like,
a lot of awakenings.
Right. And he's like, what, the stage is only a foot or so off the ground.
Yeah.
And so we're right in front, which puts, there was nowhere else to look. So to your point, like I was going to look at the band. He's not so much of a Helios figure that I.
Yeah, nice.
Anyway. Then I was like, no, maybe he's a Leo. And then I was like, God, I'm being this person.
Exactly.
God damn it.
I could see him being a Scorpio with like a Leo moon or the other way around. Because
he's got to be a Scorpio. He's got to be.
Scorpio sun.
He's too...
Because, like, the presentation is so, like, sexual and diva-like.
Yeah.
And then maybe...
he's clearly emotional.
Well, that's true.
Like
but also maybe he's sort of like a leader, like a Leo. Definitely.
Well, we can move on.
Honestly, that's about it.
Okay.
Okay, so to wrap up, let's talk about compatibility with Cancer moons and Cancer moons. So, me and my wife... and I'm looking at cafeastrology.com. So it says about 2 Cancer moons, a sympathetic rapport exists between you, which enables you to understand one another's feelings, needs, insecurities, and inner life very well. Both of you have a deep need for nurturing relationships, for a sense of family and belonging, and a strong home base. You become very dependent on loved ones for a sense of security, and you sometimes smother the people you care about. You have a strong desire to mother or be mothered by your mate. Kind of gross phrase.
Your mate?
Mother me, my mate. Gross.
You are horny for power.
I'm not. No, that was a Scorpio moon, but...
Oh, shoot.
All the sun and moon things really mean the same.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of inner or outer. Okay, so it continues. Because you're so sensitive, moody, and easily hurt, some people find you difficult to live with, but you find one another quite understanding. A few problems may arise, however. One is that you may reinforce one another's dependencies and weaknesses by babying one another too much, or by clinging to one another when one or both of you really needs to branch out in order to grow. Also, what happens when both of you are feeling vulnerable and needy and want to be babied at the same time? Who will do the parenting? At such times, you may both act very childish, like spoiled brats, in fact. However, because you have similar emotional needs, you feel very much at home and comfortable with each other, and that helps in any relationship. I'm going to go ahead and say, like, aside from the whole, like, I'm baby.
Disgusting.
Kelsey and I were talking about this the other day. What does that mean, do you think? Is that a sex thing, or is it just like, I'm incapable of doing, like, adult things. I'm baby. Or is it like...
it was like a sex thing.
You think it is?
No, I don't know.
She thought it was a sex thing, and I was like, I don't think it is, but...
I've never actually... You mean that's like a thing on Twitter or something?
Yeah, it's a thing on Twitter.
Oh, in that case, I don't know for sure.
Okay. Well, anyway, this a lot of this part where it's like about like what if both of you are feeling vulnerable and stuff. That is something that like totally happens with Kelsey and I, where we're like we both like don't want to do something, or like both are just feeling like we need to like treat ourselves or whatever, and we just both get in that same mood of like, okay, like fuck, like not eating out. let's go eat out. Or like, fuck not having ice cream, let's go have ice cream. Or like, fuck cleaning, we need to stay home and like watch TV or whatever. So that could be a problem, I suppose. I mean, and that sounds accurate.
Yeah, as you were reading that, again, I'm a Cancer moon, like you.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, yeah, like I feel a lot of that sometimes. Like, oh, I do like, if I'll get into that space and I like to be, oh, okay, you're going to take care of the thing today. So yeah, but Kyle is not like that at all.
Do you want to look up Cancer moon with Taurus?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Moon in Taurus, moon in Taurus, moon in Taurus, moon in Taurus, Cancer moon. Okay. Moon Taurus, moon Cancer, Cafe Astrology. Even though the way each of you reacts in response to your environment on an emotional level is different, there is something oh so familiar about each other. Each of you is security-minded. You want to feel secure and safe in your personal relationships, and you may give up excitement for stability if you had to make that choice. Both of you are very domestic and need a strong, secure home base in order to be happy. The sharing of food, nurturing of children, and creating a home together would be very satisfying for the two of you. Cancer has deep attachments to family and to all things familiar. That's in quotes for some reason. Taurus, too, is resistant to changes in domestic or personal life, preferring to stay with what has already been established rather than seeking novelty. Dependability and safety in relationship are important to both of you, and you can find these things in each other. Of the two of you, Cancer is more emotional, sensitive, and moody, while Taurus is more steady, practical, and even-tempered. Taurus gives Cancer a reassuring sense of security and is like the Rock of Gibraltar for Cancer during times of emotional stress and turmoil. Cancer may wish, however, that Taurus was less impassive at times. I don't know. Do you feel, I don't think, okay. None of this was like, I mean, yeah, we enjoy creating a home together.
Yeah, your home is very cool.
Oh, thank you. Et cetera, et cetera. We like stability, but I don't really feel a connection to anything in that first paragraph. It's here on of the two of you, Cancer is more emotional, sensitive, and moody, while Taurus is more steady, practical, and even-tempered. That is extremely accurate. And then I would say that Taurus gives Cancer a reassuring sense of security and is like a Rock of Gibraltar. I need to look up what that. I've never heard that. For Cancer during times of emotional stress and turmoil, Cancer may wish, however, that Taurus was less impassive at times. That I relate to all of that. But yeah, I don't really. Ooh, 5. What?
What are you looking up?
My compatibility with my partner.
Oh, okay. I thought we just. Isn't that what you just said?
No, like the sun signs.
Yeah.
5 reasons a Gemini-Scorpio relationship is a match made in heaven and hell.
Whoa.
This is from EliteDaily.com. Number 1, a Gemini man will seriously fuck with your mind, and you're gonna love every bit of it.
Oh my god.
Number 2, you're both all about romance. Number 3, you're both willing to make it work. Number 4, Scorpios and Geminis complete each other. I'm gonna actually interrupt myself. I do not believe that other people complete other people.
Wow, okay, yeah.
Number 5, the 2 signs love playing dating games. Okay, I think maybe Kyle's mom was like wrong about the day he was born. Because like, none of those.
None of those?
None of those are accurate.
Are you like a game player?
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Like maybe a little bit. I don't have a long dating history, so
right.
But
yeah.
I'm a Scorpio. I can't be held accountable for my actions. Let's see. But the more reliable astrology.com, Scorpio and Gemini love compatibility is just a 3-page essay. So let's pull out. No, this is boring. I'm going back. Let's see. Both Geminis and Scorpios are exotic and magnetic. Geminis are confusing as hell. True.
Is that what it says?
Yeah.
That's amazing. What's a good... Oh, yeah.
What usually happens in this love affair is that the Scorpio will either get tired of trying to make the relationship work, or the Scorpio's intense personality will drive the Gemini far, far away. Cue my Cancer moon, fear of abandonment. All right. What about you?
So when I'm looking up relationship compatibility with signs and stuff,
mm-hmm.
it's saying You have to compare your Venus, like where your Venus is.
Okay.
Which
this is for a different episode.
This
is for Valentine's Day. This is Valentine's Day. We're bringing Kelsey and Kyle on, and we're going to talk about our relationships. I'm your Venus. I'm your fire. Your desire.
Tight. So, to wrap up, essentially, what did we learn today?
Today we learned that Jordan and I are still the same person.
Yep. So far, so good. 2 for 2.
2 for 2.
We also learned that sun signs and moon signs, like, they're the same thing. They mean the same thing.
Yeah, you mean like the descriptions of them are the same. It's the way that we...
Yes. So your moon sign, though, is internal. It's emotional. It's your personality with yourself. Mm-hmm. What your needs are, what your desires are, especially in relationships, how you relate to other people, not just like romantically, but just like interpersonal relationships. So that's what your moon sign is. And so your sun sign is like what people may see of you, but like your moon sign is like how you feel for yourself.
And I don't know, did you feel... I mean, yeah, I think we both agreed that it was pretty, again...
It was scary accurate.
Yeah, we identified with it a lot. But for me, I didn't think that the moon sign was accurate for Kyle.
But you are not in Kyle's brain.
Exactly.
But you are in his heart.
In conclusion, can we judge a book? Like, would you say the book cover, Yeah. I don't know. Are we going to try to get that back in here?
Yeah. So can you judge a book by its cover?
The book cover is your sun sign.
Yes.
But the moon sign is the content.
Yeah.
Sort of.
So far, that's what we know. That's the best we can say.
I still heavily identify with the Scorpio, though.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think that has changed.
Yeah, for sure.
But I also, to wrap up, I don't think that the moon affects me. Other than it's a cool celestial body that is not a planet.
Yeah.
And I think that the moon goddesses are pretty cool.
Those moon goddesses have banging ass bodies.
Banging.
And they do affect me in Scorpio ways.
All right.
So thank you, dear listener, for listening to For Scorpios by Scorpios. If you liked what you heard, please tell a friend. Help us grow. Also, rate and review us on Apple Podcasts because we're still a new show and we love accolades, famously. You can follow the show on both Twitter and Instagram at By Scorpios, cross-platform. Please email us with your comments, questions, problems, fears, desires, kinks at For Scorpios by Scorpios. Yes, I did say kinks.
You know better than to ask the internet for that.
Email me your kinks at For Scorpios by Scorpios at gmail.com. Please include your sign, and we just might read your email on a future episode. All right.
That was Jordan winking.
Yeah, that was a wink. That was an audible wink. All right. See you next time.
All right, bye.
Bye.